Hey tribe, I'm Sarah Louise and I'm bringing you my weekly energy report, and I'm so sorry this is a few days late. That's because I'm really upside down and all over the place. I'm on the other side of the world from where I now spend my life in Australia, and I'm back in my hometown in London. And yeah, my body clock is like upside down, back to front and all over the place. And hence I'm a few days late. And that's okay. That's the energy right now. It's busy, it's upside down, it's back to front, routine's gone, and you know, it's holiday week. And for many of us, it's Christmas week. And that's huge, especially when we've just come into Capricorn season and we're in the shadow of either the summer or the winter solstice, depending on where you are, which is huge energy. And we've also got a solar eclipse coming up on Christmas Day or Boxing Day, plus all this festive energy, plus at the end of a decade, end of a year. You know, it's massive this week, and it feels a little bit like all the cards are going to be on the table, really clear, really, really clear. Just, it's like this kind of clarity kind of falls in, and you see exactly where you stand, where you are in every relationship, in everything. And there's this kind of new light that's kind of shining right now. And yeah, it's kind of clarity week, but I'm also calling it an action week. So it's like, I don't want anyone burying their head in the sand anymore. If stuff comes up for you this week, I want you to voice it, speak it, say it, change it. This week is about changing anything that needs to be shifted, changed, looked at differently before we go into this new decade, okay? So emotions are going to be a little bit high because of the energy, the planetary alignments. Throw on top of that Christmas and family get-togethers, and, you know, maybe not family get-togethers and a feeling of being alone, or, you know, it's such an emotional time this week for so many people, for so many different reasons. So my advice for this week is, don't bury your head in the sand. Don't just, you know, turn away from, you know, what doesn't feel right for you. Really, cards out on the table this week. If something comes up for you and it doesn't feel right, be open, be honest, be truthful, you know, no reactions, just acts. Just say how it is for you. Change the patterns. Be open. Lose your defensiveness and be open, you know. Maybe look at this week as a real opportunity to leave behind in this decade what you don't want to take with you into the next decade. You know, all these old ways. You know, maybe stuff's going to come up in old family relationships, and what a perfect opportunity this week to change those old patterns, to create a new way for this new decade that's coming up. It's huge. And you're completely supported by the planets right now, which is amazing. You know, and we've got this lovely solar eclipse happening Christmas Day or Boxing Day, depending on where you are, which is like setting fire to what needs to go, setting fire to the old, leaving it behind, you know, just leaving it behind. So I think it's a really good week. I think it's a great week, you know, energetically, to be happening just before this new decade happens. You know, I want you also to remember that you are now laying down the concrete for this new path that you're going to be walking for this next decade. So be really clear it's in the direction in which you would like to go. Be really clear that, you know, whoever you're aligning with is who you want to walk with in this next decade. And that it's going in the complete direction of where you want to go, and that it's set in a way that you want to walk it, because this is your life, this is your path, this is your new beginning. So, you know, if it's not aligned with your values, your beliefs, your desires, be open, communicate, make changes, move forward. Really, honestly, because once that concrete's set, you got to walk it, and you've created it. So there'll be no one to blame of, well, this isn't how I wanted it. It's like, well, you put that foundation down. So this week, you know, there is so much happening. we're in like the last week and a bit of this whole decade, this whole life, this whole old world, and we're going into 2020. It's completely new energy. I'm calling it a new world. So this week, be open, be truthful, be real, be yourself. Remember that you're the creator. Remember that you're creating your path moving forward. You know, Capricorn, the season that we've just come into, it's about putting it, you know, it's about kind of putting the work. I want to say hard work, but it's not hard work. It's just putting in the work, making the efforts to sit down and speak when something doesn't feel right, not just walking away. You know, stay present, putting the work that it needs now. You know, imagine that you're setting the concrete on this path of your future. You know, if you're just going to slapdash leave it when there's a bubble over there, oh, don't worry about that, you know, it's all fine. That's going to be your future. Right now, stay present with it. You know, iron out those bubbles. Make sure it's exactly as you want it to be. It's exactly aligned as you want it to be with. Make sure those people around are exactly aligned to the people that you're connected to, that you want to walk with. And then when this shift happens and we go into this new year, you're going to walk really confidently, really happily, really positively in this new path. You know, you're not going to spend the next 10 years going, I don't like that. I wish that wasn't there. You've created it. So right now, really think about what you want to take with you. You know, we're in the last week of this old energy, whatever it is, 10 days. It's massive. Make a change, make a commitment. Change the pattern. It's all up to you. It's your life. So big week, tribe. So for those of you that celebrate Christmas, I wish you a very Merry Christmas. For those that don't, happy holidays. Have a beautiful week. And I send you lots of love. Keep an eye on the posts through social media on this week of the different shifts, especially around that. I've posted some bits coming up for the solar eclipse. And yeah, make a change. Make a change. Have an amazing week. I will check in on time next week, just before this end of decade, and give you another update on how we're going energetically. But yeah, have an amazing week. Happy Christmas. Lots of love to you. Yeah, big times, big week. Much love. Actually, before I go, I have an event in London tonight, and I was going to post this separately, but while you're there, I'm going to just tell you now, if you are in London, I've got a big event in the village where I grew up, in Blackheath, in the most gorgeous little churchy place, and we're going to do a really cool clearing, connection, leave behind the energy of this decade. We're going to open up some space to walk forward into this new decade in our center, in our power, with love in our hearts. And yeah, we're going to do some massive energy work tonight. So if you're in London, check out the Facebook page or the website, Insta. I'm sure it's all on there somewhere. It's in Blackheath. Come along, come and connect. And yeah, we're working in the shadow of this winter solstice, so it's going to be super cool. And it's going to be super busy, which will be great. The energy is going to be awesome. So if you're in London, check that out. Come and connect with me tonight, and let's really walk into this new decade the exact way that we wish it to be. You know, it's all up to us. We are the creators. So lots of love. Have a great week. If you're in London, I'll see you tonight. If you're not, then I will touch base in the next week with an update on the energy. Lots of love.